I'm here at Founders Forum, just outside of London. We've just heard from Eric Schmidt of Google, talking to some of Europe's leading entrepreneurs, investors and innovators. Joining me now is Neelie Kroes, Vice President of the European Commission, responsible for the digital agenda. Ms. Kroes, thank you for joining us. Now, earlier we heard from Eric Schmidt, the Executive Chairman of Google, who said that they're cooperating with the new European requirements and regulations. Are you confident that they'll be able to do that and work with you to develop their services in a way that's acceptable for European regulators?
Well, it is still a case that is dealt with by my colleague. I was the former Commissioner for Competition Policy, but my successor is doing an extremely good job. He is very careful, and I'm certain that he is listening to all the parties, so to say, and we have to find the best solution for the Google Gate, so to say.
Some have argued, including Larry Page, the chief executive of Google, that there's a risk that it could compromise the ability of startups to innovate and entrepreneurs. What is your view on that opinion?
Well, of course, it's free to Larry, no doubt about to think like this. But the whole policy, the whole strategy of Europe is focused on giving entrepreneurs and startups new opportunities. We badly need them, and we can see a lot of initiatives all over Europe. And look, in London, the tech city, it is an extremely successful formula, and those startups are really getting opportunities. And therefore, we are pushing our digital agenda. We are pushing the telco single market, that there are no borders and barriers anymore in Europe, that when you are a startup in one member state, that it is easy to go on with your activities in another member state. So all in all, I think, also to Larry, there is a lot of opportunities in Europe for startups.
Now, of course, we're in London, where there's some controversy over whether the current arrangements vis-à-vis Europe work. What would you say? You've hinted at some reasons why Europe works for startups, for entrepreneurs, for tech investors, for innovators. What is the advantage of Europe, you would argue, for people looking to start a business in this environment, particularly when it's often the case that people talk about Silicon Valley in very utopian ways?
Well, to start with, the big issue, the single market in Europe, and that means a market without borders and barriers, is at stake. It is the crown jewel, so to say, of Europe. And not only for startups, for every entrepreneur, but also for citizens. It's extremely important not to be faced with hurdles and burdens. So we are not yet there. Still a lot has to be done. But it is, in general terms, for every citizen, a decent European Union, and not overacting. I get that point. For a decent European Union, it is a big advantage for everybody.
So in addition to borderless states in the European Union and improving telecoms rules and regulations, are there any specific things that you think in the next few years and coming years are going to make life a lot easier and more positive for the entrepreneurial culture of Europe?
Absolutely. There is just a manifesto published, and it is for the financial interesting part, a big paper to read through, and you can find it on the EU website too. It is an initiative of venture capitalists in just offering more opportunities, and also a list to do for the European Union and for national government. So no doubt about that, we need to exploit more what is at stake, that it's not only possible and easy way to find and to start your company, but also in implementation to find the money that is at stake. And the line to take is just fill in and find out what is possible.
Ms. Kroes, thank you very much for joining us.